सोच में सकारात्मकता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844-844-0632। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने 844-844-0632।
Namaskar. I am Shivani Jha and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You are watching the session live on PM Evidya channel 62, channel number 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT official. Well, let me apprise you all for this half an hour. We have our special program on Sahyog. And yes, as you all know, the Sahyog and Paricharcha sessions are brought to you by Manodarpan and is a great initiative of Ministry of Education as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan for providing psychosocial support and mental well-being to all the teachers, parents and students across the country. वेल आप सभी दर्शक जानते हैं इसी समय आप हमारे साथ रोज़ जुड़ते हैं फॉर द प्रोग्राम ऑफ सहयोग और हर रोज़ हम एक ऐसा इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक आप सभी के लिए लेकर आते हैं जो आपकी मेंटल वेलबींग को लेकर वर्क करता है. वेल द टॉपिक दैट वी हैव टेकन अप टुडे इज़ रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो द टॉपिक फॉर टुडे इज़ द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ साइंटिफिक एटीट्यूड ऑन डिसीजन मेकिंग एंड stress management. Well, we are going to talk about decision making and stress management, and we all know in today's fast paced world, decision making and yes of course stress management are crucial aspects of our daily lives, and but how it can be very useful for all of us or all the stakeholders who are watching us. So today we are going to explore all the initiative points and the key points regarding the same, and to delve deeper into this entire topic we are also joined by our esteemed experts. So let me introduce to them first. Firstly, we are joined by our expert Dr. Shanmugam Bhasha. Sir is Assistant Professor in Zoology at NERIE NCERT Shillong. So namaskar and welcome to our session.
Namaste madam.
Okay, and along with sir, we are also joined by our practicing counsellor, Miss Babita Sinha. Ma'am, namaskar. आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है.
Namaskar. Good evening to everyone.
Okay, and dear viewers, along with our experts, we are also joined by our Indian Sign Language interpreter, Miss Neetu. So Neetu, I also welcome you to this session. And now, dear viewers and our learners, in case if you have any queries or question coming in your mind or you want to share any of your feedback, then you can directly contact us via phone or our email ID. We have two phone numbers, and firstly it is flashing on your screens, which is 8800-440-559, and second phone number is of Manodarpan Counsellors, which you can note it down, 844-844-0632. And also we have our email ID, which is sahyog.ncert@cit.nic.in. and yes, as you all know, the session of ours is live and interactive, so you can also drop your comments or queries in the live chat box option. So now we are going to start our today's topic, and firstly I would like to ask my question to Dr. Shanmugam. Sir, I would like to ask you, could you please elaborate the topic in brief first, and why is scientific attitude considered important in modern education and life management also?
The scientific attitude is highly important in modern education and life management because it cultivates essential intellectual and behavioral traits necessary for navigating complex technology-driven world to promote personal growth as well as contribute to societal progress. For example, in coming to main importance in modern education views the development of a scientific attitude as a primary goal. It shapes how students learn, analyze and interact with the world, preparing them for lifelong learning and forthcoming education. Moreover, this scientific thinking, scientific attitude promotes the critical thinking and reasoning. It trains students to think logically and rationally to question assumption. We can simply call that one as a skepticism, and to analyze and evaluate information. This is nothing but the critical thinking, and enhance the objectivity and evidence-based judgment. Means scientific attitude emphasizes the importance of forming a conclusion based on the verified facts and evidences rather than emotions or bias or superstition. This skill is a vital for academic integrity and making sound decisions. Uh, Obviously, the scientific attitude promotes the curiosity and inquiry, foster curiosity and spirit of inquiry, encouraging the students to ask why and how, and to actively seek new knowledge and explore the new things through investigation and experimentation. And it also enhances the like a open mindedness and flexibility. It instills open mindedness, the willingness to consider new ideas and alternative viewpoints, and the capacity to receive the own conclusions when faced with the new verifiable evidences, and also promotes or help to enhance the problem solving skills, systemic and methodological approach to problem solving, how the like the scientific method, like define the problem, hypothesize, test, analysis, conclusions, which is applicable across all academic disciplines, either science or mathematics and some social science, other discipline also. It is also important in life management, why? Because scientific attitude act as a fundamental mindset that enables the individuals to manage the personal, social, and professional challenges effectively. Uh, and it's also informed like help to individual make a better, more informed decision. It's promote the information decision making, and also combating the superstition and pseudoscience. It also combat the superstitions and pseudoscience. Uh, the social cohesion and tolerance, many things is there, but these are the main things. Whatever I said a couple of things related to the how it helpful to the student community.
Of course, sir. And I think decision making is a very crucial part of everybody's life, yes, whether it's me or our viewers. And it's very important to make correct and critical thinking right decision for any of the situation which is coming in our life. So here I think we have got a very interesting information regarding our today's topic, and next I would like to ask another question to Miss Babita, and I would like to ask you, how does scientific attitude improve decision making?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your question. As sir has already explained, he explained you the different core, how the scientific elements work. I will proceed further. Ma'am, previous slide, one more previous, this slide. So as per why how the scientific attitude improves the decision making, prior to this sir has already explained you the core. So here what I will tell you, there are certain things which is very important. Out of that, the four basic thing how we proceed is, the very first is the problem identification. Unless we identify the correct problem, the entire process will not be working. So problem identification, then hypothesis formation, data examination. Whatever data we are having, we need to examine it also properly, and then we have to take the action. So for that, what we are going to do is, I'll just give you a small example so that you will understand this in a better way. So different, as a student life, we have different problems. One can be like in grade 11, what streams shall I select? That's a problem. So this is the problem you have identified. Or which coaching class shall I join? So this is again a problem. So this is, you have identified the problem, that which stream shall I select and which, okay, what coaching class shall I join. Next is hypothesis formation. So hypothesis is basically, once you have identified the problem, how you will proceed. So in the case of career selection or in the case of the stream selection, you need to go for a aptitude test. That is what is the hypothesis of this particular this thing. This is a scientific attitude. If you are going for an aptitude test, that will help you understand what is going to work for you. Then next is the data examination. Once you have appeared for the aptitude test, you will get a data, that what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, everything you will get. That's a different this thing, that you can always work on your weaknesses and then you can overcome, and you can make your strength. But the best part is, you have to take your strength and then proceed further. So this was after data examination, you got a particular this thing, okay, these are the strengths and this is how I have to work. Now what action you are going to take. Once you know your strength, you will choose the stream according to your strength. Say suppose the strength comes that you should be taking commerce stream, so that's a better decision. Or if suppose, even if your friends are taking a design design related anything, any course, so but you are your strength are more in commerce stream, so you will go with the commerce stream, not coming under your peer influence or your friend circle going for humanities or anything. You will see your strength and then you will proceed. This is what is actually a scientific attitude. Same goes for the coaching institutes. अगर आपको एक coaching institute select करना है कि मेरे को कहाँ जाना है, आप देखोगे मेरे कुछ friends घर के पास वाले उसमें जा रहे हैं, some friends are going little far, but you will first compare how the reviews are. That's what is the hypothesis formation. You will see the past review, 5 to 6 years of review, which coaching institutes and how was the result, and then you will proceed further. Once you have all the data and hypothesis, so then you will examine the data. Okay, this particular institute, these many students had taken and this was the success rate, these many students have appeared and these many have got through this particular exam. And then you will decide the action. The action is according to your distance, according to your time, according to the success rate. As per that, you will go for that. And one more action here, it is required, you will go for a demo class, whatever coaching institute or whatever place you have decided. So you will go for a demo class. This is how the scientific attitude works, not that coming into the emotions and coming into the influence of someone and going for it. So this is how, ma'am, it works.
Of course, ma'am, and as per your words, I got to know, like, whatever the decision we are making, it should be based on our own willing, right? So that it could be very useful for our own welfare. Well, here I would also like to ask my next question again to Dr. Shanmugam. And sir, I would like to ask you, in what way does scientific attitude reduce stress in students, or we can say in any stakeholders?
Yeah. Scientific attitude reduces stress in students by replacing the emotional overreaction with the rational analysis and promoting a structured and action-oriented approach to the problem. You can say this one, shift from emotion to logic. Reduces the cognitive distortion. Scientific attitude minimize the stress by helping the students evaluate the situations logically, replacing the assumptions with facts. And earlier also I said the same, and it focusing on action rather than worry. You see neuroscience basis how the reduce the scientific attitude to stress. This analytical approach shift the brain's activity from emotional overreaction center, that is we can simply call it the amygdala, to the rational analysis center, that is the prefrontal cortex. These are basic neuroscience behind this stress reduction. Another thing I can say that combats the uncertainty. Stress levels increase when uncertainty and lack of controls are in high levels. the structured nature of the scientific attitude provides a method for students to gain clarity and control over their situations. We can give in like one example like systemic stress coping cycle. The scientific attitude promotes the stepwise coping cycle for stress reduction, which is supported by behavioral science and as well as used in the clinical psychology. That one is a problem solving therapy, PST. You can see the breakdown this one stepwise. Identify the stressor. First step, we need to identify the stressor. Then scientific approach to stress reduction. Root cause mapping to determine the core issue. What is the exactly issue? They are suffering from the stress. And second step, collect the proper information. And you need to analyze the situation to determine what is in my control. If what is not in my control. Then third step, plan the response. How to respond? Break the solution into manageable steps. And fourth step, take measured action. Execute the plan and track the progress. And finally, review and refine. Like engage in self-correction and learning from the outcome. Based on the outcome, learn and regain the things. For example, I will give one classical example. In especially students that are facing the main problem is the academic pressure. When the student feel anxious before exam and thinks, I will feel because I am not good enough. The scientific attitude provides a clear path to reduce that anxiety. For example, the assumption, I am not good, the students assume like I am not good enough. Scientific attitude response can see identify cause of stress, lack of revision in 2 chapters. Then like a non-scientific feeling like emotion like overwhelming anxiety or worry. Then collect the evidences, either past performance shows the constant improvement. Then non-scientific feeling like a passivity, like stuck in worry in some way, student, then plan response creates a 40 minutes revision cycle plus practice test. The outcome anxiety persists, then outcome reduce the anxiety and improve confidence. This systemic process leads to better management of exams and perform stress, ultimately resulting in a higher self-confidence and emotional balance for the students.
All right, sir. And I think you have given the perfect example of academic pressure given by the parents to all these students or their children. And all our children, all our students can relate to this example as well. So, as we are continuously talking about the students' mental well-being and how can, scientific attitude could be useful for all our students. So, here I would like to ask the same question to Miss Babita Sinha, and I would like to ask you like how can students apply scientific attitude in their daily academic life, which could be helpful for them as well.
Yeah. As sir has already explained that how we will reduce our academic pressure and exams, so I will take it little further by another example. Ma'am, next slide please. So here how we are going to amplify this in our day-to-day life. There are many common stressors, if you find that it is there with us. One of the most common situation is I don't have time to study. Suddenly 1 or 2 days prior to exam, children start feeling that anxiousness in between them because they were not prepared initially, so they start feeling there is a lot of syllabus, ab to main nahi kar paungi. So what is one way is like a normal without a scientific approach, you will get anxious and you will be more this thing and you will stop studying. The scientific attitude is still I have some time, so I will identify how much time is left, how much I will identify how much syllabus is left, and according to that I will plan my rest of the time as per the number of topics or number of this thing left out and number of hours with us. So that's a better way to plan it out. Or another way is I start getting panic just before any competition. Okay, today I have to give this competition and I am feeling very cold and I am not able to remember anything. This is again a common situation. Before any competitions, children going for inter schools or any competition in the school, they start feeling before going to the stage. It happens with all of us. हम सबके साथ होता है, हमें जब बोलना होता है तो हमें लगता है हम सब भूल गए. But how to tackle this particular situation in day-to-day life is start remembering all your strengths. आपके positive points को आप मन में एक बार बोलो. जब when you start revising your positive strengths, your how good you are in certain things, then it will automatically start implementing. Then the moment you go for that particular competition, you will be more confident and you will be able to face those challenges. So that's a scientific way कि हम पहले ही अपने आप को prepare कर ले, हम अपने strengths को ऊपर और अच्छे से काम करें और strength के बारे में सोचें. फिर एक और common situation which students feel is I'm bad in mathematics or I'm bad in English or I'm bad in that particular subject. The moment they get less marks, they start getting this thoughts in their mind. So how to tackle this? If suppose I'm getting a thought that I'm bad in maths, मैं तो अच्छा कभी नहीं करती हूँ, मेरे को हमेशा कम marks आते हैं. Rather than getting those negative thoughts, start analyzing where and what mistakes or error I have done. One step at a time. पहले मैं सोचूंगी कि हाँ भी मैंने इस particular exam में मैंने क्या क्या errors किए. I have to note it down. I have to start working on my mental maths. I have to start working on my timings. How well I will be able to attempt better in a given stipulated time. What were the mistakes which I have already done which I should not be repeating again. So you have to draft a targeted learning session. You have to plan your session and then you have to go for the study, right? Another is there are different pressures. Say suppose I am good in drawing, so I want to pursue something in fine arts or one of the subjects I want to follow, but there is a pressure from my family side that I have to take science only. So again, so in this, these are certain common situations which I am sharing. So again, you should not be arguing कि नहीं मुझे ये अच्छा लगता है तो मुझे ये जाना है. Go for an aptitude test, which I already mentioned. Those are the research based and logical discussions which you can do it with your family. That even in my aptitude test, even in my interest test, these are the scores which are shown because those are standardized tests, right? So that cannot wrong because it works with your personality, with your interest, everything on the basis of that it is coming. And then present a logical argument or then have a open discussion with your family members ki okay, this is my result of aptitude test and these are my strength and I want to pursue this. Still if they are not convinced, find out a common path. Still you can discuss about the career avenues, again work on those things also. These are the different scientific attitudes which you need to adapt in day-to-day life, different problems, different solutions. But once you start thinking logically, you will be able to tackle it in a better way.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. And of course, by following all your tips and suggestions, as you have given many tips and suggestions for all our viewers and sir also, we can make a more informed, decisions and develop effective stress management strategies as well, leading to a more balanced and fulfilling life in that. So here, I would like to wrap up this session for now because as we are left with a very limited time. So firstly, let's thank our guest for today's session. So firstly, Dr. Shanmugam Bhasha, sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, and also I would like to thank Ms. Babita Sinha, ma'am. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful session.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you everyone.
Okay, and also I would like to thank our Indian Sign Language interpreter, Miss Neetu. Thank you so much for joining us till last. And dear all learners and viewers, before I leave, here's a very important information. The new NCERT textbook for class 4th and 7th are now available on Amazon, Flipkart, and also on our NCERT official website. So please grab it on from there. And before I leave, please have a look on your screens for our tomorrow's upcoming programs. So at 8 a.m. you can join us on channel number 6 to 12 for the program of yoga, followed by 10 a.m. you may join us on the virtual lab session, and after 11:30 you can join us on channel number 1 and 2 for the E-Jadui Pitara session. At 12 you can also join us on channel number 1 for the inclusive classroom session, and followed by 2 p.m. you may join us for the different PME Vidya channels and the topic that you can see on your screens, or you can also take the screenshot for the same. So here I would like to thank all our viewers and our learners for the last session, and thank you once again, and namaskar to all of you.